Hey guys, TFish88 here with another figure review. Today we'll be taking a look at the Raymundo Mechani-Kong. Yes, like I said, this is by the company Raymundo, not Bandai or any sort of company like that. Raymundo, which is kind of neat. And yeah, it's Mechani-Kong, so we'll be taking a look at a more obscure character compared to a lot of other Toho creations. So yeah. Now, real quick, before I go in depth with the figure, I'll show you the header card that the figure came with. Here it is. It says Tyrone M. Kong, which is Mechani-Kong, and a woman hula hooping with a speech bubble that says, "Yes, we can." Nah, I don't know. Same thing here. Same here. And the address for Raymundo Toys. Anyway, on to the figure. As for articulation, it only has 3 points. The arms rotate 360. A little bit stiff. I wouldn't really mess with it because they might pop out or even damage the figure because he's not really soft vinyl. Kinda is in some places, but he's mostly just a, hard vinyl. And the last point, you guessed it, the waist, which could most likely rotate 360, but for some reason, my figure is kind of weird. See how it's kind of lifted up from the waist down. It's kind of weird, but oh well. I never really intended to move the waist 360 anyway, so yay. Anyway, the paint job is what you would expect. It's a metallic silver, like he was in the film, basically. He might, from my memory, I think he was kind of a darker shade of silver, but I could be wrong. I haven't seen King Kong Escapes in quite some time, so. But yeah, his whole body is just this metallic silver, except for the eyes, which are metallic gold. And I like that. I mean, there's a version out there of this mold that I think is just a really dull, pale, sort of gray color. And I don't even think the eyes are painted at all. I think it's all just one solid, dull gray, which is kind of disappointing, but I'm glad that I decided to... Well, I'm glad that I found this version, which I think is the better of the two. One other thing about the versions is that, see this one? There's no bomb belt. Yes, there is a bomb belt version, but for some reason it's always more expensive than this one, which is just the standard version. So yeah, I just went ahead and decided to get the standard one, and I'm not complaining at all because this is a really nice figure. But anyway, back onto the actual figure. The detail. Let's go ahead and move on to that. Now, the detail on this figure is actually really nice. I mean, look at the face. Looks really accurate. The antenna, it's even got a little antenna sticking out there at the top. Looks really nice. There. Really accurate looking face. It looks great. Very nice sculpting. Back here, just kind of go down. Really robotic looking, which is what you would want from, King Kong's mechanical doppelganger. There we go. Hands. Arms look great. Love the metallic look. Very robotic. Looks really nice. Chest plating, all that good stuff. And yeah, the sculpting is just really nice, and it really captures what the Mechani-Kong suit looked like in King Kong Escapes. And I think that's really awesome, because honestly, a character like Mechani-Kong doesn't really get much figure treatment, aside from the 8-inch Bandai figure. But this is really, really nice. Alright, really quick let's just show how tall this guy is. I'll go ahead and just bring out a standard 6-inch Godzilla figure. Yeah, this is kind of the downfall of the Mechani-Kong figure, is that it's really small. I mean, look at that. I mean, this figure itself is kind of small in mass, but in height and mass, Mechani-Kong is just puny compared to this Godzilla. But, oh well, not that big of a deal. Now, one thing I should mention, I don't have the Raymundo 67 Kong, or the 62 Kong for that matter. But from what I've seen, you know, pictures and whatnot, the Kongs do not go with Mechani-Kong at all. Kong is probably like this compared to Mechani-Kong. Taller, so doesn't really go well because they were practically just the same height in King Kong Escapes, which is kind of a bummer, but oh well. So yeah. Anyway, I'll just go ahead and give a brief history of the character for people who may not be familiarized with the character. He originally appeared in the 1967 Toho film King Kong Escapes, and he was created by the evil Doctor Who was basically bent on getting a hold of this element called Element X, which is supposed to be, if I remember right, just this powerful element that he was going to use for diabolical things or whatnot. So yeah, he was going to use Mechani-Kong to hunt for it, but when it broke down, he decided to use the real King Kong, or something like that. It may be the other way around. Like I said earlier, I haven't seen the film in a while, but yeah. So yeah, his plan doesn't really go as planned with Mechani-Kong, and later on in Tokyo, King Kong and the robot you see in front of you end up getting into a fight, and end up both climbing Tokyo Tower, where the robot ends up, I think, either falling off Tokyo Tower or being pushed by Kong. Either way, he slams into the ground and just, well, not explodes, but just completely crumbles into pieces. And that's all we've seen of him. And yeah, so the figure itself is pretty nice. Detail's really nice. Paint job is pretty good. Height, not so good, but who cares. And I got this guy off of Big Bad Toy Store. I'd suggest looking there, Tempting Toys, eBay, whatever, however you can find it, I'd say get it. I only paid about $20 for this, so I'm really happy for that, because I've seen this guy go for outrageous amounts of money, and he is honestly not worth, you know, $30, $40 plus dollars. But I would still recommend him. He's really cool. Anyway, guys, I hope you enjoyed this review, and until next time, I'll see you.